Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new and you're stopping by for the first time, welcome. I am so glad to have you. I would love it if you become part of this crafty family by clicking the red subscribe button and then tapping the bell and all to be notified every single time I upload, and I upload 2 times a week. Also, if you could please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, it would really help my channel out, and share it to your family and friends if you think they would enjoy it too. So with all that being said, let's jump right into today's DIYs.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside.
Okay, so to start off, I have this sign that I had got from Dollar Tree a while back, and I wasn't too sure what I was going to do with it. So I had these letters from Bullseyes Playground, and I knew that I could use them somewhere or another in this project. So I cut the twine off. I'm pretty sure they're ornaments, so I just cut the twine off, and then I take my ink Waverly chalk paint and I give this a really good coat. Now originally I was going to use the J and the Y on this one, but after I had painted it and saw how cool that the home looked cut out of the sign, I knew that I wanted to do something different than I had originally planned for this one. So after I give this a really good coat, and I give it a coat all the way around the sides as well as the front. So at first, like I said, I was going to do something different. So I was just focusing on the edges because I was going to put scrapbook paper. But then, like I said, I saw how cool that home looked, so I painted the whole thing. So I have this Home Sweet Home one, and I do the same exact thing, just with white Waverly chalk paint. And we'll use the J and the O on this one. So while the black one is drying, I paint the white one. You guys know how I do. It's just easier. I then went on my computer and I just printed out "There is no place like" for the holidays, and I'll leave all the information on the fonts I use down below. I then scribbled on the back because carbon paper will not work on black paint. But when you scribble on it and then trace it, it works really well. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but the pencil mark is definitely there. So I then just go ahead and use my white paint pen, and I outline all the words with white. So after I get these all outlined in white and the holidays colored in, I then go with my white paint pen around the home that's cut out, just so that way you can see it, and it's not really hard, you won't have to squint to see it. You can see it from far away. If I didn't do this, you wouldn't have really been able to see what it said, just because this is black paint. Next, I go ahead and just dry brush some white around the edges. You guys know I like to do this, and I do this for a few reasons. One, because, like, for instance, this has, a picture underneath, and if you sand it, you'll be able to see that. And also, I really hate sanding, to be honest. It's dusty, it's nasty, and dry brushing just gives you that exact look without having the mess. So anyway, after I do all the edges on the front, I then go ahead and dry brush all the way around on the sides. I then take my red paint pen, and I'm just going to but just give the holidays a bit of dimension. And so I just randomly kind of put red accents in the lettering. You can see what I'm doing here, but again, there was no rhyme or reason. There's no correct way, or you're not going to do it wrong, so don't get discouraged. It's just to give it a bit of dimension and just give it a bit more flair, if you know what I mean. So after originally, like I said, I outlined the home in white, but after I got done outlining holidays with the red, I thought that it would be cool to kind of do the same thing with the home, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I just ended up going around the whole thing with the red, and I'm really glad I did because I like the way that it turned out. But as always, this is your preference. So after I go ahead and finish outlining the home, I just take this little mini wooden sticker wreath from Bullseye's Playground. I had these in my stash and I thought that it would look really cute on this sign. So I just took the paper from the back and just stuck it on there. You don't need hot glue or anything. And then I had this big berry pick and I just snipped off like a little I snipped off the edges of the berries, like a cluster of them, if that makes sense, and then I broke them apart and just glued them down on the mini wreath. After I had that done, I snipped a piece of ribbon and I just make a simple bow. Now, a lot of people ask me how I do my bows, so that's why I'm showing you here. If you need to slow it down, there is a way to slow the video down. I'm pretty sure it's down near the description box. I don't know exactly, but I do know that there is a way to do it. But it's really hard to explain, so you can see what I'm doing here. And then I just ducktail the ends, and you get a perfect bow every single time doing this technique. I then just take a bit of hot glue and I glue that down, and that was so quick, so easy, and for me it only costs $1, so that is definitely my favorite part. So after I was done with this one, I move on to the next sign. So I had this buffalo check scrapbook paper, and I just lay the sign face down and then I trace it out. That way I have a perfect cut. So after I have it traced, I take my paper cutter, and you don't need a paper cutter. You can use scissors. I'm just not very good at cutting straight lines. I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comments down below if you prefer a paper cutter or scissors. So next I just take my school glue. It's just a school glue stick. You can probably find regular ones at the Dollar Tree. I got this one around back to school, and it was fairly cheap, so I just go ahead and give that a good coat on the back of my scrapbook paper, and then I lay it right on top. And the reason I used scrapbook paper was because of the word sweet. You could see it, and I didn't want that word in my sign. I then just press it down and make sure all the bubbles are out and press down evenly. Next, I take my crimson and the Waverly chalk paint, and I dry brush the edges of the lettering just to make it pop off of the sign, because I thought that if I just laid it on there and it was just the plain white, it wouldn't pop. So that's why I'm doing this. And then after I do both letters, I go ahead and I dry brush around the edges of the sign, and a little bit got on the scrapbook paper. I wasn't gonna do it, but then I saw the little bit that got on there, and I thought it looked really cool on top of the black and white buffalo check. Again, this is your preference, but this is just what I liked, and I really love the way it turned out in the end. So I just lay my letters down just to get an idea, and we're going to make like a little Christmas wreath. Now these box woods from Walmart at 97 cents a pick, and look how full these picks are. And the reason I'm using this greenery is because it really reminds me of mistletoe. So next, here's a cool trick. If you don't have like a wreath small enough to fit in small spaces, just use nautical rope. You just take a piece of nautical rope, you measure it and make sure that it is the size that you want, cut it, and then all I do is take a dab of hot glue on the end. I then take the other end and just hold it for a good 30 seconds probably, and then once the glue is almost dry, I just roll the end in my fingers, as you can see here, and it really fuses it together like it's supposed to be together. And this just gives you a really easy base to glue your greenery down on, and that way you know, it's just really easy for me, if that makes sense. Let me know in the comments down below if you would use the nautical rope or if you would just glue your greenery straight down to the paper. So after I have my nautical rope glued down, I just ran a bead of hot glue and glued it down to the sign, and then I just take my greenery and I just go around in a circle. I personally don't like to go different ways. I go like all the way around clockwise, but if you like the look of having like half going one way and half going the other way, that's totally up to you. This is just how I prefer to do it. So after I have my greenery glued down, I take some more berries because again, it reminds me of mistletoe. And I just glue them around randomly. Again, no rhyme, no reason, just wherever I thought a berry would look good. And I use my Cricut tweezers just because these berries are kind of a pain to pick up. They're really small, and it's just easier to place them where I want them with these tweezers. Next, I go ahead and glue my J and my Y down, and that quick and easy, you guys. You have some really affordable, really cute signs that look like they were store-bought. Please let me know in the comments down below what you think. Now, Thursday is Thanksgiving, and I usually film on Thursday, so I did pre-film a video for Friday for you guys. I hope all you guys have a wonderful holiday. I hope you get to spend so much time with your family, and I hope you guys will hit the subscribe button and become part of the family if you have not already. Please give me a big thumbs up. YouTube is going through some really crazy changes, and it's really hard to get my videos noticed. So you guys would really help me out by giving me a big thumbs up. So until next time, guys, I love each and every one of you, and I'll catch you later. Bye.
Out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing?